Hello, all my wonderful friends and students. How are you? As always, I want to make sure you can see me and hear me all right. Let me know. Can you guys see me and hear me? There we go. Oh, good. How are you guys today? I hope you are doing well wherever you are in the world. As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, even good night. I have to say that, hello, Rosa, hello, Steve, hello, Aaron, Leo, Melinda, Rosa, Dari, all my friends, Aaron, Natish. I have so many wonderful students. I am so incredibly blessed to have so many wonderful students. And you guys are here every week. And I know for some of you guys, this is either very, very late at night or even very early in the morning. But the fact that you are still here week after week joining me for Smrt English and learning pre-intermediate, it really, really makes me happy. And a dream of mine, an absolute dream of mine that I think would be incredible is if I could tour the world, take a vacation all around the world, and come and meet each and every one of you and go out for tea, go out for coffee. And instead of me teaching you, I would love to learn from you guys about your countries, about your culture. So maybe if I ever get rich someday, that's what I'll do. I'll tour the world. Hi, Baharat. Hello, my friend. I'll tour the world and come see all of my wonderful friends and students from all over the world. So let's get started. Again, with the pre-intermediate level, it's a lot of grammar and it's a lot of vocabulary. And so with that, there's a fair amount of memorization. Hopefully, as we go through, your questions, comments will be answered. If not, as always, please scroll to the bottom of this video once it has posted if you have any questions or comments that we don't get a chance to address during class. And if you would like to post those there, I will certainly do my best, try my best to get to your comments and questions, since I know that I'm not always able to do so while we have class going, because our live feed, we have so many great students that our live feed is always going so quickly. So with that, in addition, if you are watching this video later, you'll see me looking off to my left often, and that is because we have our live stream going, and I have all my wonderful students from all over the world and all the comments going in our live feed. So with that, again, I'm so glad that all of you are here. It is a beautiful day here in Spokane, Washington at SCEL, which is the Spokane College of English Language. If you are familiar with any of the other videos, I am here with both Mr. Neil and Mr. Joshua. And then Sean, the wonderful Sean, is up in Canada at CCEL, the Canadian College of English Language, which is our partner school. So here in Spokane, it is a beautiful morning. The sun is shining, and I am happy that the sun is out, and I'm very, very happy to be here with you guys today. So again, my name is Miss Abby. This is pre-intermediate English, and we will go ahead and get started with some grammar. All right. Oh, good. We have new friends. Hello, Oscar from Mexico. I'm so glad you could join us. Great. All right. Let's jump into some we'll jump into some grammar, and then we'll follow it up with some vocabulary. Here we go. So when we're talking about the future, and we'll be focusing this lesson will, right? When we're talking about the future and our word will. So our opening, I think we'll have a good time this weekend. And so what I want to make sure that everyone knows and everyone has in their notes is that the contraction, no, none. There we go. Oh, it's being sassy. The contraction for will is LL, right? So we know when we see I'm, that is short for I am, or if we see can't, we know that is short for cannot. All right, in the same way, when we see LL, that is the contraction and the shortening of will. So for a few examples, he will would be he'll, she will is she'll, I will is I'll. In the same way, you guessed it, we will is will. All right, so once more, what you can memorize, what you need to know for today's lesson is the contraction for will, W-I-L-L, is L-L. We know that a contraction in English, we like to shorten words. So instead of saying I am, I'm. Instead of saying cannot, can't. Or do not, don't. We just shorten it. Whenever we see that apostrophe, that either means ownership when it's followed by an S, or it lets us know that we've taken two words and we've shortened them down, right? So again, that apostrophe lets us know that something's been taken out and shortened. So for today's lesson, speaking about will, the contraction for will is LL. So again, as you see here in our notes, he will, he'll. She will, she'll. I will, I'll. We will, and so on. So the contraction is the apostrophe and then LL. All right, I want to look over. Great. All right, wonderful. So now that we know that and you have that in your notes, the contraction for will is LL. So will in our form when we're forming positive sentences, right? So as you can see, I will or I'll, you will, you'll, she will, he will, it will, we will, they will, all of those word, apostrophe, and then LL, right? So I will have time. He will go home. We will study hard, right? So will in our positive form. And then in a similar way with our negative form, it's either I will not or will not is shortened to won't. So let me put that in our notes as well. Will not is shortened to won't, right? So looking back over, and I'll come back to our notes so you guys have a couple seconds, a little bit of time to write those down. Or of course, once this video is posted, go back and watch it as many times as is helpful. So in our negative sentences, I will not have time. She will not study hard. They will not eat breakfast. Or we shorten will not to won't. I won't have time. She won't go home. They won't eat breakfast. So jumping over to our class notes, and I'll give you a second to jot this down, write this down if you like. Contraction will, LL, and then will not is shortened to won't, right? Will not shorten to won't. I will not have time. I won't have time. That is our will in the negative, right? Let me check and see if there's any questions, anything. Okay, it looks like we're doing well. Oh, could you please pronounce them again? Absolutely, my friend. I will go back. So I have a request to pronounce these again. Absolutely. So starting at the top, I will, all. You will, you'll. He will, he'll. She will, she'll. It will, it'll. We will, wool. They will, they'll. All right? I hope that was helpful, my friend. Oh, Rosa asked a great question. Why isn't there a contraction for the negative I am? Because English is crazy. English is a crazy language, and sometimes there's things that simply don't make sense. For example, will not to won't. Where did we get the O? When did the O get added? It's just our rules for grammar. So great question, Rosa, and I don't believe there is a contraction for the negative I am. So we could shorten it to I'm not, I am not. So great question. Wonderful. Oh, good. So Aaron asked, can you pronounce between want and won't? Very, very similar. So want, we had that A, want. Won't, we need to make sure we get in that O, whoa, won't, right? So if we're just pronouncing the first W-O, whoa, won't. So want, we have that A, want, won't. So very, very similar sounding. I believe that was Aaron that asked, very similar sounding, and really good observation on that. And yes, Natish says, I agree, English is crazy. English is a little crazy sometimes. I apologize to my students. What's interesting with English is that it is a language that borrows a lot from other languages. Okay, it takes a little bit from Greek, a little bit from Latin, a little bit from the Romance languages. English, the history of the English language is very, very interesting. And once more, because it's kind of taken a little bit, the language has taken a little bit from other languages. It just sometimes is crazy, sometimes doesn't really make sense even. And that's why, again, it just comes back to a lot of memorization, a lot of practice. We know that the more we practice, the more we become comfortable and familiar with something, the easier it gets. And as I've said before, use it or lose it. So when you learn new vocabulary, when you learn new grammar, go practice it. Because once more, if you don't use that, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. You got to get that practice, and that helps you remember all the crazy rules and all the ways that English sometimes is a little bit crazy. So yes, Natish, I agree with you. Wonderful. Okay. So let's go back. So once more, our negative sentences. I will not is shortened to I won't. So once more, will not, we shorten that to won't. All right, for our yes or no questions, right? When we start our sentence, we start our question with will. So will you have time? Will she go home? Will we eat breakfast? Right? Those are starting our sentences, starting our questions with will. And this is for yes or no questions. Will I have time? No, you will not. Will she study hard? Yes, she will. Will they eat breakfast? Yes, they will eat breakfast. So we can ask questions, yes or no questions, starting with will. We can also use will, as I just did, for our short answers. So yes, I will. And that is an affirmative. I'm stating my intention, I'm stating my plan, I'm stating what I am telling you I am going to do. So yes, I will. Or no, I will not. Or as we just went over, no, I won't. Now with our WH, our what questions. What will you do? What will she do? What will they do? Right? So our W questions, what will? So what is the plan? What do we believe? Or we're asking someone else what the plan is, or what they believe will happen, or their prediction for the future. If that's a little bit confusing, stay tuned as we go further in the lesson and even do a little bit of review. Hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense. Hopefully it will make a little bit more sense. All right, so will in our usage. When and why do we use will? English speakers, we use will when we make a decision or plans at the moment of speaking. So when we are speaking and we make a decision what we will or what we will not do, or we make plans, what we would like to happen, what we are planning will happen, that's when we use will. So once more, we use will when we're making decisions or plans at the moment, at the time, the very time that we are speaking. Let's look at our examples. So I'm hungry. I am hungry. Me too. Okay? I'll start making dinner. I will start making dinner. So at that moment, he's hungry, she's hungry, dinner sounds great, I'll start making dinner. I'll make dinner. So he's saying it, she's saying it. In that moment, the decision is to make dinner. Our second example, I think I'll go to bed early tonight. So I think I will go to bed early tonight. So that person is making a decision. They're stating what their future plan will be. And then our last example, that looks like fun, people out on a hike. Will you give me a hand? So once more, at that moment, at the time that the person is speaking, they're either asking a question, or they're stating their plan, or they're stating what their decision is. Again, also used as a question with our will, as we see once more in our final example, will you give me a hand? And of course, that will is for a yes or no answer. And yes, it looks like yes. Yes, he will. Yes, he will give her a hand. Right? Now, in a similar way, we often make decisions at the moment we're speaking. So we're talking with someone and we're always making decisions in life, right? Even what words to use and what to say, we're always making decisions. So when we make a decision at the moment of speaking, when we offer, so we offer something or we promise, we give our word that we will do something. We also use will to make request, right? So as we're continuing on, knowing that when the moment of speaking, we offer, so we say, I will do this, or we promise, we give our word that we will do something. And also we use it to make requests. So to ask for something. To request is to ask for something, to make a request. So let's look at offers. Right? When we offer to do something for someone, we say we will do something. Our example here, I'll carry those for you. So I will carry those for you. So it's giving almost a promise. It's saying what we will do. It's affirming, also giving an offer. I will carry those for you. Our second example, come over to our place tonight. We'll make dinner. We will make dinner. So it's an offer. If you would like to come over, this is what we are doing. Come over to our place. We will make dinner, right? Give me a moment. I want to look over. Wonderful. Great. Okay. Looks like we are doing well with our questions and comments. So, with promises, and we know that to promise something is to give our word that we will do something, right? Promise is to say, yes, I will do this. So when we promise to do something, we say that we will definitely do something, right? So a promise is not just saying, I'll do this or I won't do this. It's saying absolutely, I will do this, or absolutely, I will not. I won't do this. We're being very definitive. It's definite. We say we'll definitely do something. Looking at our examples, do you want to study with me tonight? Sure, I'll call you later. Sure, I will call you later. So these two women, the one asked, do you want to study with me tonight? The second responds, sure, I will call you later. So she's stating what she definitely will do. She's giving a promise on her course of action, what will happen in the future. I'll call you later. I will call you later. So that's a promise. She's giving her word that she will do something. In this case, that she will call later. And our second example, could you help me? Sure, I'll be with you in a sec. So sure, I will be with you in a sec. And just so you know, sec, S-E-C, is short for second. So a second is a measurement of time. Seconds are measurements of time. So we shorten it down for slang or informal and just say sec. So sure, I'll be with you in a second. Sure, I will be with you in a second. So once more, these two gentlemen, and the one asks for help, and the other one says, absolutely, of course I will help you. I will definitely help you. So he's promising, he's giving his word, he's saying it in the affirmative. I will be with you in 1 second, right? So we use will when we are promising, we are giving our word, and we're definitely saying that something will happen, will take place, or we will do something, right? I want to look over, see if there's any questions or comments. Great. And again, once more, my lovely friends and students, I always, of course, have our class set up to what we need, all the information that we need to get through in each class. And so I need to make sure that we keep on schedule. And so with that, my apologies as always if I'm not able to get to your questions or comments. Once more, please, once the video is posted, scroll to the very bottom And if you would like to post a question or comment, I will certainly do my best to check back throughout the week and answer anything that you might be a little unclear or a little unsure of. Right? Great. So continuing on, so request. To request something is to ask for something. So when we ask people to do something for us, this is called a request. Or when we ask for something, it's called a request. Will you help me? So this woman in our first example is requesting, she's asking for help. So will you help me? And again, we know that this will is for a yes or no answer. So either no, I will not, or of course, what we would say is yes, I will. I will help you. So will you help me for a yes or no answer? And I respond, yes, I will help you. So I'm giving her that promise. I'm giving her my word that definitely I will help her. Looking over at our second example. Again, once more, this is for yes or no question. Will you open the door for me? Yes, I will. Yes, I will open the door for you. So once more, a yes or no question. And then if we answer with will, we're saying it in the affirmative. We're giving our word. We're giving even a promise of our course of action, what we will do. So will you open the door for me? Yes, I'll open the door for you. I will open the door for you. All right? Great. Continuing on, and I'm gonna jump over real quick and just do a little bit of a review so that we would say, on the same page. So we do not use be going to or the present continuous for these meanings. So remember, be going to and the present continuous are used to describe plans we have already made in the past. So plans are what we hope will happen, what we plan on happening, what we're going to make happen. And be going to and present continuous are used to describe those plans when we've already made them in the past. So real quick review, let's look over. So the present continuous, be going to is to talk about your plans in the future, what you want to have happen, what you plan to have happen. Our examples, I'm going to play soccer, I am going to play soccer, we're going to see a movie tonight, Joe's going to be here soon. We're talking about the future and our plans or what we plan on doing in the future. So that's similar ways to the present continuous. We use be going to talk about our plans. And as we know, there's really very, very little difference in meaning between be going to and using the present continuous when we're describing plans about the future, and both ways are perfectly fine. Be going to, present continuous, both ways are fine. So looking at our examples, I'm going to go to a party tonight, I'm going to a party tonight. So be going to and our present continuous. We are going to eat at a restaurant this evening. We are eating at a restaurant this evening. He is going to meet me later. He is meeting me later. So once more, when we're talking about our future plans, we can use both be going to and the present continuous. Either one will say the exact same thing, our plans for the future. And then also real quick wrapping up review, so what we're talking about this week makes a little more sense. We remember, we also use be going to if we can see that something is for sure, something is definitely going to happen in the future. So when we're speaking about the future, we use be going to if we are sure, if we are positive, if we absolutely know that something will happen in the future. So stop driving so fast, you're going to crash. You are going to crash. We know that driving fast. And have you guys heard about self-driving cars? Do you have those in your country yet? I was listening to the news this morning and they did a whole section on self-driving cars and how that's the future of cars. Do you guys know about that as well? Or is that just one of the crazy things we're doing here in America? Leo says, yes, we have those. Absolutely. Yeah. So self-driving cars, we won't have to worry about people driving so fast. Stop driving so fast. You're going to crash. So we're saying, using our be going to, that if you drive this fast, this will happen. You are going to crash. Oh, okay, let me see. There was a question. Natish, if you want to post that question again, I'll try to get to it. I don't see it in our feed anymore. So if you want to repost that. Baharat says, yes, Google is testing those cars. Rosa says, I wish I had one. It's true. It seems like a sci-fi, science fiction, so made up, a science fiction movie that cars can drive themselves. But they're saying, the news that I was listening to, they're saying that that's the future. All right. Okay, so again, Natish Kumar, if you want to repost that question that I don't see in the feed anymore, I will certainly try to answer that. Okay. And Steve says, yes, we see self-driving cars in Singapore and even a few in Taiwan. Wow. Natish says, what is on your mind? What is in your mind? So great question. What is on your mind versus what is in your mind? What is on your mind is what we would ask, what we would say if we're asking someone what they're thinking about, right? We would say, what's on your mind? And what's on instead of in, like it's not actually in, we're not asking what's inside their brain or inside their mind. We're just asking, what's on your mind? What are you thinking about? All right, so maybe you see your friend and it looks like they're really thinking about something. You could just say, what's on your mind? So it's just asking, what are you thinking about? Great question, Natish. And again, we would not say what's in your mind, we would say what's on your mind. Wonderful question, my friend. Okay. Continuing on, so once more, reviewing that we use be going to if we know that something is for sure, it's absolutely going to happen in the future. Our second example, it's gonna fall. It is going to fall. This is going to happen. Last one, it's going to rain soon. It is going to rain soon. So again, real quick review, and this is going to be helpful as we continue on with will. And then also may or might. We know that may or might can absolutely be used interchangeably. One is not better than the other. One is not stronger than the other. May or might can absolutely be used in the same way. And we use may or might when we're saying that it's possible. It could happen. May or might when it's possible that something will happen or might happen, may happen in the future. So just looking at our first example, do you have any plans for tonight? I'm not sure. I may watch a movie. I might watch a movie. All right. So just a quick review that's going to be helpful now as we jump back over to will. So once more, we don't use be going to or the present continuous for these meanings. Be going to and the present continuous are used to describe plans we've already made in the past. And this is how will is different. So our example, let's meet later. Okay, I will call you. So once more, making a promise, stating what we will do at the very time that we are speaking. Okay, so once more, at the very time that we are speaking, we use will. And when we're making a promise or giving a statement of what we will do, use will. Let's meet later. Okay, I will call you. I'll call you. Our second example, I'll take your bag. So this is an offer saying, I'll take your bag, I'll carry your bag. So once more, they're stating what they will do. They're giving their word. We would even say promising, okay? I will take your bag. And once more, we use will because we are right then making that decision instead of our be going to or our present continuous that, as we just reviewed, we use for plans that we've already made, right? And with that, in like way, we do not use will to talk about plans that you've already made in the past. We use our be going to or our present continuous for that. So do not use will to talk about plans that you've already made in the past. Looking at our examples. What are you doing this weekend? Right? We don't use will. Second example, I am going to Thailand next month. Right? We're already made that decision. We already decided what our course of action is going to be. So again, we made those plans in the past, so therefore we would not use will. Will is when we are making the plans or making the decision in that moment. Our third example, where are you going to go for your honeymoon? Okay? So once more, do not use will to talk about plans that you've already made in the past. We use be going to or the present continuous. Now also, when we make decisions at the moment, so at the very time that we're speaking, it's popular to say, I think I'll, so I think I will, right? So once more, that's just a way that you're saying what you plan on doing, what you plan on happening. Our examples, I think I'll make pasta tonight. So I think I will make pasta tonight. So maybe going back, what's on your mind? I'm just thinking of what I will make for dinner. I think I'll make pasta tonight, right? So once more, it's very popular, it's very common to say, I think I'll, I think I will, right? So you're saying what you're planning on doing when you're making that decision at the moment that you are speaking. I think I'll make pasta tonight. Our second example, it's nice outside. It is. It's nice outside. I think I'll go for a walk. I think I will go for a walk. So once more, in that moment, we're stating our intention, we're stating what our plans are. So what we're thinking about as far as what our next plan will be. We would say, I think I'll, I think I will. In like ways, we can also, if we're in a group, okay, if there's more than just us, we could say, I think we will go to a movie, or I think we'll go to dinner. So I will, if it's just myself, singular, and we will, I think will, if we're talking about just more than one, just more than ourselves. So you could absolutely use I will or we will, right? We can use those for I think, and that's when we're making decisions at the moment of our speaking. Okay, continuing on, I want to look over, make sure. Okay, great. Continuing on, now we also use will or be going to make predictions. We know a prediction is what we think will happen in the future. So think of it weather predictions. So at night, usually on the news, they'll give the weather predictions for the next day or for the next week. So they're predicting, they have information and they're predicting what the weather will be, so what they believe the weather will be. So weather predictions, so as that example illustrates, predictions are guesses or what we believe will happen in the future. So we can use will or be going to when we're talking about predictions about the future. And once more, a prediction is what we think will happen in the future. Now make note, it's not a plan. It's not a plan. We don't have any control over it, but it's what we think will happen. That's why weather is a good example, because we have no control. Obviously, we have no control over the weather, but we can predict the weather. Scientists look and study the sky, study how the Earth moves and how that affects weather. It's really an incredible science. And with that, they can make weather predictions. But ultimately, we don't have any control over the weather, obviously. It's just what we believe will happen. So once more, prediction, what we think will happen, even what we want to happen, but it's not a plan because we have no control over it. So again, if it's helpful, think of weather predictions as the example because we have no control over the weather. We just can predict what we think will have happen with the weather. Let's look at our examples. Brazil is going to win the next World Cup. So once more, these are examples where we can use will or be going to make our predictions. Brazil is going to win the next World Cup. Or I could say Brazil will win the next World Cup. So I'm predicting what I think will happen. And it's not a plan, and really I have no control over it. You can't control how Brazil plays in the World Cup, but you can predict. So if you believe that to be true. Here's our example of the weather once more. The weather is going to be nice this weekend. Or we could say the weather will be nice this weekend. Moving on to our third example, the children will enjoy the movie. Or the children are going to enjoy the movie. So once more, we can use will or be going to for our predictions. Last one, you will love this phone. Or you are going to love this phone. So for your notes, know that predictions, what we think will happen in the future, we can use both will or be going to. But no, it's not a plan and we don't have any control over it. Okay, and again, going over what we reviewed, we know that as we studied before, we prefer, so it's better, we prefer be going to if we can see the future because of something happening now. And again, for more clarification, what that just means is If we believe we know what's going to happen in the future because of what is happening now, we prefer be going to instead of will. Let's look at our examples, hopefully and make a little bit more sense. If you have any questions, let's see. The tree is going to fall down. Now, obviously, once more, we can understand the future. We know the future. We know what will happen because of what is happening now. Yes, if you're cutting down a tree and you're sawing down the tree, yes, the tree is going to fall, right? I'm telling you, this is what will happen. Because of what's happening now, someone cutting the tree, it will fall. The tree is going to fall. All right, in the same way, this woman is pregnant. She is going to have her baby soon. So right now, what's happening right now predicts the future. So the woman is pregnant, and we know ultimately she will have her baby. She is going to have her baby soon. So once more, what's happening right now lets me know, lets me predict, lets me say what's going to happen for the future. And with that, again, looking at I think, when we make predictions, it's popular to say, I think, so I believe, or I don't think, I don't believe. If we're asking a question, we're asking someone's opinion or their thoughts, we'd say, do you think? Looking at our examples, I think it's going to rain, or I think it will rain. I think he'll come to the party. So I think he will come to the party, or I think he is going to come to the party. Third one, I don't think it'll be cold tomorrow, right? So what I'm thinking, what I'm predicting, I don't know for sure, but what I know now, it's cold now, so I think it'll be cold tomorrow, or it's not cold now, so I don't think it'll be cold tomorrow, or I don't think it's going to be cold tomorrow. Our last example, do you think the movie will be good? Or do you think the movie is going to be good? So do you think? I'm asking what your thoughts are, what your opinion is. Do you think? Do you think the movie is going to be good? And talking about may or might again, we can also make predictions with may or might. And this gives your prediction, it means maybe. I'm not totally sure. I'm not 100% sure, but maybe this could happen, right? For may or might, once more, we know that those can be used interchangeably. So our example, I think you may like the chicken. I think you might like the chicken. So I'm predicting what I think will happen, okay? It may rain tonight. It might rain tonight. Once more, weather is a good example when we're talking about predictions because we can have reasons, we can have hints or clues of why we think the weather will be a certain way, but we can't control it. The best we can do is just predict it. So it may rain tonight. It might rain tonight. All right, so that is the end of our grammar lesson with will. I know there's a lot of information there, and once more, that's what's so nice about these videos. Once they're posted online and they're posted on YouTube, please, absolutely go back and watch it as many times as you need, because I'm sure every time you watch it, you'll pick up new information. And once more, we know that review, practice, that's the most helpful way, one of the best ways. Actually using it and reviewing a language is the best way to learn it. So I want to check over and make sure, make sure, let's see if there's any questions. Oh, Melinda asked, I have heard give birth. I'm not sure about give a birth. It's give birth. Give birth is verb, okay? Not give a birth. We wouldn't have an article there. It's just give birth, okay? So the woman will give birth soon. Great observation, Melinda, and it looks like Erin had the question there as well. Great. All right. Wonderful. Well, let's jump over. We have about 10 minutes left. So let's jump over to our vocabulary. And again, there's a lot of vocabulary in the pre-intermediate level, and that's just because you guys understand the basics of English now, sentence structure, some grammar, and now we can really start building that vocabulary because, as always, the more words you know, the more you can say. And we finished last week with confused. So the gentleman in the picture here, he's confused. I don't understand. I'm so confused. English can be confusing if we're using confusing as our adjective. English can be confusing. So confused, if you are confused, it means you don't understand, you're not clear. Our example, I don't understand. I'm so confused. All right, so our new words, crazy. Crazy. Why did you buy a car? You don't have a job. You're crazy. Now, in this way, we would be using crazy as a hyperbole. And we know that a hyperbole is just when we're not saying something literally, we're saying it as an exaggeration. So that we don't think that this woman really is mentally unwell, crazy. We're using crazy as a hyperbole. Why did you buy a new car? You're crazy, right? So crazy, again, the true definition means mentally unwell, mentally unsound, but we often, it's very popular to use crazy as a hyperbole. So not that we literally think this woman is crazy, but we're using it as an exaggeration. Crazy. Date, as in to go on a date. And with my students, I try to always let them know when they might see a vocabulary word used in a different way than what's on our list. So know that also date is a day or a time or a place. So the date of our next class will be April 19th, I believe, or April 18th will be the date of our next class. But for our purposes, we're talking about date as in, will you go on a date? So will you go on a date with me? So a date is just a set time and meeting of two people, right? And it can even be more than two people, but normally it would just be two people. So for our purposes, we're not talking about date as in a day on the calendar or a set event on the calendar. We're talking about date as in, will you go on a date? Will you go on a date with me? It's just asking, will you meet me at this time, right? So we would also say in English, in more informal, will you go out with me? Okay, will you go on a date? And decision, we're waiting for you to make your decision. A decision is just a choice. So to make a decision is to make a choice, right? So you always have decisions that we make. You have a decision whether you want to stay up late and come to class or if you would rather sleep. And that's why I'm always so excited and so honored that you make the decision to join me every week for our Smrt English live classes, because again, you're making that decision, you're making that choice. So decision is choice. Dentist. Dentist. And I don't know, I'm going to guess it's probably the same all over the world. Definitely in America, people do not like going to the dentist. And dentist is a noun because it's a person, and it's a person that's just a doctor of teeth. All right, so as we can see in this example, the young woman is getting her teeth looked at by the dentist. So the dentist is the one that always tells you that you need to brush your teeth more, or you need to brush your teeth longer. So dentist, once more, it's just a person, it's a doctor that deals with the mouth, with your teeth, right? Dentist. Dish. Will you help me wash the dishes? So plural, will you help me wash the dishes after dinner? And dish as a singular would usually mean plate, but when we say dishes, it could mean all of everything. Plates, bowls, cups, mugs, everything. When we say dishes, we mean any of it at large. When we talk about dish singular, we're usually talking about a plate. So a plate, a bowl, a cup. If we're talking about it singular, it would just be dish. If after dinner, of course, there's plates, there's bowls, there's cups, there's lots of things to wash. Then when we use a plural, we could say dishes. All right, so dish singular is a plate. Dream. All right, and even at the beginning of our lesson, I said it would be a dream of mine to be able to travel all over the world and come and meet you all in person. That would be a dream of mine. So what is a dream? In its literal, its true sense, a dream is what your thoughts and the stories almost that happen in your mind when you are asleep. So sometimes we remember our dreams. A lot of times we don't remember our dreams because we dream all night. Our mind is always going because we know there's different parts of our brain. There's different parts of our mind. And even when we go to sleep, there's still parts of our brain, there's still parts of our mind that are working. And it's those parts, that area where you dream. So a dream is just the thoughts, the stories that you have in your head while you're asleep. Or as I used it, it would be a dream of mine to travel all around the world. So in that way, I'm using dream as a wish or as a hope. Okay, so dream. Event. So an event. What is the most important event that has happened in your life? So an event is something important that has taken place. All right, something important that has taken place or will take place, right? But what you need to know is that it's very important. So why there is a baby in this picture is because most people that are parents, that have children, if they were asked what is the most important event that has happened in your life, most of them would answer when I gave birth, okay? When we had our children. That was the most important event. So something very important that happened. We would say event. All right, in a like way, when we're talking about our examples of Brazil is going to win the World Cup, we would also say that the World Cup, that is an event. And we would even qualify it saying it's a sporting event. And we know the World Cup is a huge event, right? So something important that takes place. What is the most important event that has happened in your life? And with that, oh my gosh, we're already out of time. It's already been an hour that we've been here together. And so I want to just check real quick, see Oh, Rosa says my dream has always been to visit the United States. Well, come visit, Miss Rosa. All of you guys, come visit SCEL, the Spokane College of English Language, where I have been coming to you live for this week's pre-intermediate English class. Oh, you guys are wonderful. Thank you so much. Our time always goes so quickly when we're here together. I always enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it as well. And once more, wherever you are at in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. And hopefully you'll remember that every week there's the same event of Smart English Live, and certainly you can tune in for Mr. Joshua, Mr. Neil, Mr. Sean's class, all of our Smart Live classes with all of our wonderful students. So thanks so much, guys. I hope you're well, and I will see you next week.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to our channel. Also, if you want the full experience of being a student in a Smart Live class with things like homework and teacher feedback, follow the link and become a premium subscriber. Also, if you want to see more videos from this class, check out our playlist.